Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital. I hope you're all doing great, and welcome to this new video right here on Ethereum. We're going to do a full update. We'll talk about everything you need to know, and we'll talk about some different scenarios here. Because honestly, look, I just made videos on Bitcoin and XRP. And those actually look quite clear. Obviously, a lot can happen fundamentally and a lot can happen technically, and you should be prepared for a lot of different scenarios. But both XRP and Bitcoin look relatively resilient and strong over the course of this morning. So that's great to see. When I take a look at Ethereum, I don't see that. All right, and that slightly worries me for some other reasons as well. That's why I wanted to talk about different scenarios here. And just what you need to be prepared for. I mean, on the higher time frames, I try to stress this in every video. On the higher time frames, I'm still incredibly optimistic, positive, and bullish on Ethereum. Right? I still think we're going up to 5,500, or at least the area around that, and I still think technically we are bullish. But then if you look at the lower time frames, what we've seen over the course of the last 24 hours for most majors, I mean, not only Bitcoin and XRP, but also kind of like smaller ones like Dogecoin or Avalanche even, have seen some momentum and some volume coming in. For Ethereum, that's not the case. And one step further even, what we have seen over the course of this morning and the end of the Asian session is that we actually have, leverage coming into Ethereum, but it's a lot of short orders. Which is not necessarily bad. That can also be fuel to raise to the upside, but it's quite a lot of money. I mean, we're talking about what is it, like almost $100 million right here in shorts being opened. I think the 5th of September, so that was Friday. I think we also got some major shorts coming in. Those have not come out of the price yet fully. So there's a lot of interest in shorting Ethereum, and then you combine that with the fact that Ethereum has not really showed momentum over the course of the weekend, which normally is not strange, but it is strange when there is momentum in other places, and that makes me say that I'm fairly neutral short term on Ethereum. Ethereum, I mean, we've also had some major ETF outflows. Which is not great, but then again, you could say, all right, well, we have these ETF outflows and Ethereum is still holding up. So there's a lot of things, like when we're talking about these shorts piling up, when we're talking about the ETF outflows, things that can both be, or the ETF outflows in combination with the price at least, those are all things that you could say those are bullish and bearish at the same time, right? Or at least they could go both ways. And that's why at this point of time, I have to be completely neutral on Ethereum short term. Long term, I think Ethereum is a buy. I don't think that there's any question about that. We need to get some very, very bad fundamentals to stop that or to change that. But short term, the way I would approach Ethereum at this point of time is, first of all, be prepared for the worst. So that means if you're short, be prepared for a breakout above 4,500, which is the top of the range right here. And if you're long, be prepared for some sort of a liquidity grab to the downside, all the way potentially into 4,000 or 3,900. Be prepared for the worst and wait for confirmation. And I would say short-term confirmation, if we really zoom in, what you can see is that the short-term balance for Ethereum, I can show you right here, the short-term balance is kind of right here, between 4,270 and 4,400 actually. That's where most of the volume has been traded. Keep your eyes on those levels. If we get a high volume break above or below those levels, so again to repeat, 4,400 and 4,270, get a high volume break above or below those levels, get a retest on the lower time frames, then we have a breakout, then we have confirmation. That's going to be the direction. And at this point of time, I have to be completely honest with you, which I try to be in all my videos. It's 50-50 in my book on the short term. So those are my thoughts. Look, if there's confirmation, I'll tell you as soon as I know. But for now, that's it. So thank you for watching. Like I said, be prepared and have a great week. Bye.